Greetings, my friends. This is once more Celeria Rosencroix, and I thank you for joining me as I begin our experience together in Dark Souls See Only Nights, Episode 8. Now, I learned that it happens to be the case I missed out on some areas here in the undead Burg. See, I decided to jump on and experiment to see if I could actually get over to that area over there, as it had taunted me for a little while as I was first exploring this region. However, as I did so, I decided to climb up these stairs, and rather than just continuing on and making my way over to the bonfire there, I found that there is a ladder, and that ladder reaches down that way. This, of course, means that there is a way up and through that area. Presumably, along these lines, there must be some way to get in there, and some way to explore the lower levels over there. And, of course, I'm being attacked by these spear people. Fortunately, they are idiots. And there we go. One more hollow soldier helm to add to the collection. And I see there is a passage leading down right here. Most excellent. So, the beginning of a new area. One, which will lead over here, and that will allow progression that way, as I suspected. And this guy thought he could be a little sneaky one. He could not successfully manage it. But the other one leads over this way to this man, who seems to be petting something in that broken open barrel. Something that I can't see. Very curious. No. I won't fight with this guy. By the look of him, he seems to be a purveyor of fine goods. So let's hear him.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Excellent. Despite the fact that he seems a little bit off his rocker, all things considered, this does seem like it is a very good opportunity to learn more about the world and find some more interesting stuff.
Things are getting treacherous in these parts.
Getting?
A horrible goat demon has moved in below.
Ah.
And up above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave.
Well, thank you for letting me know. Show me your wares. Perhaps I can find something that's useful. Repair powder. Repairs weapons equipped in the right hand. Lightly enchanted golden powder repairs weapons equipped in the right hand. Use of a weapon depletes its durability, eventually rendering it ineffective. Repair powder is a precious method of repair on the battlefield, as it obviates the need for a repair box. Okay. Throwing knife. Used as a projectile. Throwing knives have limited range and accuracy compared to arrows, but offer a quick and easy ranged attack. Undead who lack any other means of ranged attacks will do well to stock a few of these. Well, that's good to know. Already have firebombs. We've looked at these pretty well. Lloyd's Talisman, that's interesting. This person is selling PvP items here. Dried Finger, that's something new. Online play item. Dried Finger with multiple knuckles. used to strengthen connections to other worlds, allowing the summoning of a third phantasm, but also a second dark spirit. Also makes the summoning of dark spirits occur earlier, used with caution. So that makes things quite dangerous. It reminds me of the Taunter's Tongue in Elden Ring. So, yes indeed, that is a very interesting item. And then we have the Orange Guidance Soapstone. Messages transmit to other worlds where they are rated. Also, rate messages of other worlds. In Lordran, the flow of time is distorted, and messages allow undead to assist or deceive one another. Now, this is 100 souls. I don't think I have that. I might as well. I like to rate messages. So, let's go for it. Bottomless box. A peculiar bottomless wooden box, with its origins being unknown. Some deride it as a symbol of unbridled avarice. Any number of items can be deposited into the box, and items can be managed while resting at a bonfire. Okay. Well, I haven't met any sort of equipment issues as of yet, so that might or might not eventually be useful. We'll find out later. This is a repair box, and based on the sound of things, it seems like it will probably be very much useful. I should probably save up for that. But I'm probably going to end up buying something else from him anyway. Specialized mortar and pestle to repair weapons and armor by grinding repair powder. Rests at a bonfire to make weapon and armor repair possible. Repair powder is fragile and cannot be taken along. Okay. Residence key. Key to a residence in the undead Burg. Simple, sturdy design of the locks in the Burg keeps out unwanted visitors. But this is a standard key in these parts and will open several residences. I happen to also have been able to get into those residences already with my master key, so I shan't worry about that right now. I will probably end up buying it at a later date, though. It's an interesting lore item. Dagger. This standard small dagger has only a modest attack but can be jabbed in rapid succession. And it's effective on critical hits such as after a parry or when stabbing in the back. With both slash and thrust attacks, this dagger is useful in various situations. Short sword. This small straight sword is widely used, to an extent only matched by the longsword. That's nice because the longsword also comments on the short sword. An accessible sword which inflicts consistent regular damage and high thrust damage, making it applicable to a variety of situations. The scimitar. Small curved sword, we actually already have this. This is an item which reflects the fact that there was a shift from fighting dragons to fighting people, most likely. See, this is the item that the skeletons happen to have, and those skeletons seem to be of a combined army of Gwen and the Witch of Izalith after the dragons were already defeated. Most likely so that they could secure control over competing factions. Maybe that's why they're worshipped as gods to this day. The rapier, standard thrusting sword, regular one-handed attack can be delivered with shield held up, can parry with use in the left hand. Thrusting attacks pierce and are effective against foes with hard exteriors, but the wielder is left open to damage after a swing. Okay, so there's slow recovery time there. That's good to know. Hand axe. This is, I think, the weapon of the Pyromancer starting class. Appears identical to the Lumberjack's tool, but has an ideal weight and strength and is easy to handle. One wrong swing leaves the wielder wide open, though, so timing and proximity to the enemy must be judged carefully. Club, which is definitely the deprived starting weapon. A simple wooden club, this simple bladeless strike is an effective weapon, or is an effective thing against most foes. Is easily handled and can break the guard of a shield. However, a single miss makes one wide open, so timing and proximities are crucial. Reinforced club. Club with leather nailed to the pommel. The Burg undead merchant proudly peddles this club, but its reinforcement is shoddy. It's funny how that's telling us about the quality of this man's wares while we're shopping at his actual shop. Indeed, its attack is stronger, but the club is no longer dependably sturdy. That, of course, will mean that you need to get the repair box, which means he'll get a lot more money. Very savvy, this merchant guy. Spear, standard spear used commonly by soldiers. We already have that. It has almost the exact description of our fancy little, winged spear, is it? Short bow, that we need. Hold bow and press the left button to aim. Aim for the heads of humanoid foes. Press left trigger or right trigger to change the type of arrows. That is something we need, absolutely. This, I think, will actually be very good to fight against that Drake. Now this is interesting. It has what appears to be a twin bird on it. Symbol in Elden Ring which describes the phoenix, the symbol of life and death. But it's also worth noting that it is representative of the Holy Roman Empire in our real life, which is actually a Central European power that stretched toward the East and the West. So, also, very important, and this is highly relevant to Elden Ring, East and West are the locations of the sunrise and the sunset. The phoenix is a bird representing the life cycle of the sun. So here, even in Dark Souls, we see this twin bird is being representative of death and rebirth. Very, very potent symbology that they're keeping throughout their games here. Decorated with an ancient symbol, a double-headed eagle. Painted yellow. Wood shields are lighter than metal shields, but with lower physical damage reduction and reduced shield stability. We'll have to keep that in mind and learn what yellow stands for at a later date. Yellow is an interesting color. In Elden Ring, it's associated with madness. So, there might be some sort of mad person who might have been associated with some large empire at some point. Maybe a rival empire to that of Gwyn and the Witch of Izalith? Perhaps the one that the scimitar-wielding skeletons were rallied for? Well, not quite skeletons at that time, but regardless. A very interesting concept here. There were rival powers at some point. Different symbolism going on. I should really get that. And it only requires 400 souls. I'll actually buy it now. It'll take me longer to get the bow, but oh well. Small leather shield. Small leather-covered round shield reinforced in critical spots with metal. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after the parry is easier. The timing is a little bit more, how shall we say, generous. Buckler. Very small round metal shield. Parry attacks with large center protrusion. Small shields are always less stable, but landing critical hits after the parry is easier. This shield is specialized for parrying. And as far as I understand it, the buckler in all of the Souls games is actually the best option for parrying. So this is a bit of an understatement. Except possibly the parrying dagger, but I think there's slightly different ways of that working because they always have a different animation than the buckler. So it's probably a take it or leave it sort of side grade there. Anyway, leather shield. Round leather-covered shield, standard widely used shield. Small shields are less stable, parrying is easier. Or follow-up attack. A heater shield. This one is interesting because it has a very visible blue as well as a golden symbol on there that is hard to see right now. We might have to buy that later in order to see exactly what's on there because it is an interesting pattern. Small metal shield, a standard widely used one. This shield is easy to use and is one of the smallest shields that offers 100% physical damage reduction. Very good. Let's see. Stability is 55, magic resistance is only 30, but fire is 70, and lightning is 50. So, I'll have to look at that later and see about comparing it to the metal shield that I currently have. And then Warrior's Round Shield. Round wooden shield crafted in Lordran. Decorated with ancient Labris axe. The Labris axe is a double-bitted axe that is associated with the cult of Zeus. Of course this is from Lordran. That round wooden shield must have been used by the armies of Gwyn at some point. That has definitely got to be the case. Giant trees in Lordran are distant offsprings of the great stone arch trees. This shield inherits their properties, and the wood reduces magic damage. That's good to know. And that is something that is very interesting. Now, to be fair...
kindly.
Let's see. I might actually have another one of those shields already. Let's look at this. Caduceus. Okay. This is basically the same sort of design, but it has a red and white aesthetic to it. So the other one might be a replacement once this alliance broke through. Because we know that it's the case that eventually the Witch of Izalith and Gwyn actually had a falling out. So, we'll have to keep that in mind and see if we can't find who uses those warrior shields. So let's see. 55 stability. The fire damage is worse, the stability is slightly better. I don't know if it's actually worth trading. Probably not worth buying it other than for the aesthetics. But it's an interesting sort of option there. Yeah, it's Winged Spear. So let's see. We'll talk to him again.
Oh, you again. I hope you've brought plenty of souls. Oh, this one. Ain't she lovely? Her name is Yulia. She's plumb in love with me. You'd never leave my side now, would you, Yulia?
Now that's interesting. Yulia is the name of... I can't talk about that NPC because it's in Dark Souls 3 and I'm not supposed to know other Dark Souls lore. Let's see. To be fair, I think it's the case that there's a Yulia in Deracine, who is an important character. I don't remember exactly the details of this character, but Julia or Yulia, this is a very popular name that FromSoft seems to keep bringing back for its characters. So we'll just keep that in mind. This person seems to be petting something that's invisible. Let's assume that he thinks that there's a cat there instead of a person who's sitting in the wash basin.
Oh, you can forget it. I'm all that she needs. Careful, she'll bite your little fingers off. Be kind, Yulia, be kind.
Okay, so he's saying, don't pet the cat, she's angry. She's a very fierce little feline. So that'll be it for now.
What a waste of time. Go and fall off a cliff.
I probably will, but not right now. How did I get 19 Estus? Whatever. Imminent enemy. Okay, thank you. I knew about these already, but it's very good to know. Ooh, broken straight sword. I don't think that's a shortcut. No, probably not. Be wary of rear, okay? And what have you to offer? 10 throwing knives. That's pretty useful. So there's someone up here that had a throwing knife and was prepared to use it. This now will actually allow us to get up there. Now, in theory, we could jump down there and that door should actually be open. Or openable. But we won't do that yet. We'll come back to it. And there we go! Finally, we have acquired the ability to get into this hidden area. Try right indeed. Thank you, message. Light crossbow and standard bolts. I wonder if that would actually be a suitable substitute. What? Won't let me go off there? Ah, well. Wow, that is a fast responding hollow. Okay. Now there should be just one more thing that I need to do over there.
Oh, I hope you've brought plenty.
I'll actually buy quite a few more of these standard bolts. That gives me
Oh,
31.
Very much.
I suppose in theory we could try jumping down there. That person could technically be right if that's the case, that this would represent a shortcut. I'm not sure if that would actually work. But this way, that should work. What? Oh. I'll give it one more go, but I'm not going to waste my health too much. Nope. It would seem that was not a shortcut. But oh well. We'll just move on over this way. I'll actually check back over here. There's no way, I think. Nope. Now the time nears. Here is the domain of the Hellkite Drake once more. But, let's see here. I'm not gonna try to fight it directly at this point. I will circle around, because I know this bridge is in place here. And that is a tail. I'm gonna shoot it. Try to take down its HP. And there should be one more over here. Okay. So let's see what we have here. I should actually read the description of this. Weapon, type crossbow. Standard crossbow issued to soldiers. While bows require both hands, a crossbow is held in one, but arming each bolt takes time. Equip bolts to use. Press the left trigger and right trigger to change the type of bolt. Okay, that's a little bit awkward. Oh. There! They hit! Now this may require some patience. Darn. Well, I now no longer have any bolts, and so I will be retreating. Now, let us see how much fun we can have with actually being able to aim.
Oh, you again. I hope you... Oh, thank you very much.
And thank you. And here we are again. Ah, you have to equip it in both hands. Ah! And there we have it. A sword from the dragon, composed of its tail. I don't think I can actually target any more for this from this position, so I will be forced to go back. Hello there, friend. Willing to come down? Ah ha ha! This is somewhat awkward. Oh! Instantly killed! It only previously took me down to half health or so. That's very strange. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that second one. Very interesting how it has what appears to be a beak coming directly out of it like that, but formed out of its teeth. Well, I might as well see if I can't hit it with the short bow from here. Ah ha ha! Oh! Dang it. What the heck? That is very unfortunate. Well, I didn't instantly die there. Why? Sometimes it has a far longer cooldown in its flame breath than others. This is a very strange mechanic. That was weird. Oh well. That was at least an interesting one. Oh, this is so awkward. Oh, a statue to a mother and son. This would appear to be some sort of secret shrine that the Guardian Drake is preventing normal people from actually reaching. I think I'll light a bonfire here. And I shall also kindle that bonfire. Reverse hollowing, and then kindle it. Mother and son statue here. It's a little bit, out of the blue, so to speak. I'm guessing it's going to be Gwyn's wife and her firstborn, but there's not really much evidence for us to say one way or the other here. It's interesting that she's on a pillar above water. That might be somewhat significant, especially since there is a ring of walls here. Oh yes, and the ring is surrounded by an octagonal base. Curious that. Oh! And despite the fact that one is broken off, you can tell that it was actually 6 pillars in the circle, and then one in the center, then an 8-sided base. That is 15 and 14 that remain. The moon and the dragon are actually being referenced here. I guess the dragon's outside, but the goddess must be associated with the moon. Perhaps the child as well. So close. Oh yes, I need to kindle. And looking out here, we find a completely passive hollow, shielding his eyes as if terrified for some reason. Perhaps by the fact that this statue here is broken and destroyed. Praise the sun, it says, as if this were a statue of Gwen, but I don't quite think so. That sword spear speaks to a different identity. And this hollow is propped up against the wall like a traditional Jew at Jerusalem at their wailing wall to their temple. The last few bricks remaining standing of the outer wall surrounding the central temple structure. I'll pull this lever. Let's see what it does. It opens up this gate, and this gate leads us into this passage which we could have gone into earlier. Excellent. But I want to see these undead killed again. Where's the Drake? Let's see what this is. Soul of a nameless soldier. Claymore! That is interesting. The Claymore is the weapon of Radon, the legendary warrior son of Radagon, who is his heir as lord, becoming the lord to the sacred immortal child who is the god that rises in the DLC. That is interesting, especially because of the fact that time and light are both associated with Gwen as well, and Radon being the big son of the sun god, so to speak, while also being the inheritor of Radagon's will. It makes a very interesting sort of statement that this child might be the firstborn son of... Oh! What have we here? This child also grips in their hand a sword, which I think looks very close to the Claymore. doubly reinforcing the idea that there's environmental storytelling going on here. But also, if we go over this way, we find this is a sword spear that is modeled after that same sort of sword. Very interesting. Except, of course, this one is more like a Zweihander, with its extra hilt here. Almost as if the sun had leveled up at some point and outgrown just the claymore. An interesting thought, that. The claymore might be worth actually bringing strength to 16 for as well. Especially given it gives scaling on both strength and dexterity at that amount. That's some good stuff. This one only gives dexterity scaling at sea. And there we go. That, I think, should be just about enough to actually get the level up, and I shall put a couple more points into strength. Well, one at this time, but let's see what we can do. I will put the Soul of a Lost Undead in as well, because I think it's actually 44 something, but... Oh, it wasn't. Ah, well. Now let's see if we can't get the Drake to return. Keep forgetting to lock on. It's very awkward. Is the Hellkite Drake truly not going to show up anymore? Oh, goody! Where is it flying off to? Very curious. Somewhere off beyond the city. Beyond the hill over there. Well, I might as well see if I can't kill one or two other things over here, and that is a bloody, horrible looking dog. Or pig. Yes, it has tusks on there. Now I think there should be another Black Knight up here. Dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I don't know if I can get the Hellfire Drake to actually come back here. But I'll be sure to kill off the Black Knight at the very least. I don't know why, but this Black Knight seems significantly easier than the previous one. Oh! So close. Wow, I actually got a backstab on him. And there we go. Black Knight number 2. Oh, not yet. There we go. There is Black Knight number 2. Easier than the first. Same reward. Interesting. But regardless, this has been Celeria Rosencroix, and it has been a while. So I think I'll shut this down and see if I can't find some interesting things to do in the future. Maybe we will be able to defeat the Hellkite Drake. Maybe we won't. But given we have the tail, I'm not sure whether or not it's actually worth going back. Regardless, thank you for joining me, and farewell.